Okay, members and friends, we're going to the courthouse this morning. Snow all over. It's kind of like the situation here. We're dealing with some very icy people, you know. Really, eh? Well, you know, one time we went into their office, right, for something with her, with the baby. And because, you know, he spent a lot of time out here in the yard with us, you know, he was young, right? And he took the water, you know how water is in a water bottle. And they had a plant there, and he started pouring the water in the plant because his mother used to let him play out with the water in the holes out here all the time, right? So he knew at a very early age that, you know, water was to water plants. And but I guess those kind of things aren't acknowledged. Rabbit hutch is ready to go for rabbits, but we'll work on that in the spring. So anyway, off to court. Old Betsy, first crank and away she goes. This is what I like a GM for. I can't believe it. Just crank her once, and you're running. So, I gotta get going here, guys. We'll see you at court. There you go. Okay, let's record. Yeah. Okay, members and friends. So we're going to the courthouse. This is our second day. Something I wanted to mention here. They're starting to run my daughter ragged. They know that she's been, you know, struggling with her addiction and has no resources, no money, no nothing, right? Not that I have a lot of resources either, right? But, you know, they quickly booked their appointment for court yesterday and quickly booked an appointment today. And then they changed the visitation time that we had with her and the baby, which was supposed to be tomorrow at Thursday. But they changed it for today for 12 till 1, you know, 12 to 2. And then they know because she's got to go see a methadone doctor. Are you sure it's for today? Oh no, our appointment was supposed to be for today, but
not so early.
Not so early. They changed the time, right? So they expect her to take a bus without mom, because we're going to talk on behalf of other people going through this situation here, right? That have no resources, no money. And you have to remember, a lot of these parents, you know, if they're on social services, their total income for the month is $610 as a single person after they lose their children. Okay, so, you know, middle of the month, they're expected to run off to court. You know, who knows what they've been going through in the interim, right? And hop on a bus, you know, get out to court, be punched around like they're a punching bag, you know, be told they're this and they can't do this and everything else. And then hop on a bus and, you know, go back to whatever location they need to go for their visit, right? And then, you know, for some of them, they go see their methadone doctors, right? Because they can't do the script. You know, they can't get a prescription unless it's done by a specific doctor. Just keep going down 148, right? Yeah, that'll work for a bit. And so, you know, they don't make their appointments. You know, they miss their court dates. And of course, this is what the social services, they use as a means to say in front of the judge that the parents don't care about the kids. The parents are abandoning the children. You know,
they're banking on the parents missing their court dates.
You know, the parents are missing their court dates. The parents are missing their visits. You know, and whatnot. And it's basically a setup. Okay, so now they're running us ragged. You know, I have limited income myself. You know, I'm wheeling and dealing just to put gas in the car to get my daughter there down on time. I'm going to help her to get back to her appointment. I'm not seeing my grandson until I get him home. You know, it's not good for children to be, you know, they don't technically have a sense of time at this age. You know, 28 months is still pretty young. It's quite a baby, right? So, you know, I know my other daughters want to see him, and that's going to be very hard on him. I'm going to wait till he's home. You know, I got his memorial room. I bought him some toys yesterday, so I'm going to set up his toys. So after this is all done, I'll show you what I bought him. And, you know, somebody said that what's going on through the YouTube, that, you know, this is very mischievous in an evil kind of a way. And I tend to agree. This is not, you know, they want something to gain from this. Now, whether they want to attach themselves on to what I'm doing with you know, the public, and in terms of telling my story, and because this, you know, we're suing the government in one way or another. We're setting up a trust fund for Andre to you know, have another lawyer partner up with our legal aid lawyer, so that, you know, one way or another we're going to get him back, and there's going to be some accountability held for this. They're trying to tell I want to keep this short. They're trying to tell my daughter that she needs to be in her own place because where we live is too small. Now, I've lived in a shanty shack with all my kids. That's 5, plus my dad and myself, and that's 7. And I looked after the little girl for the Ministry of Children and Family Development for 3.5 years without getting paid. So this stuff about being too small, it doesn't wash because I've already, you know, walked the talk, right? She doesn't want to live on her own. She wants to be with the family. Plus, she's got some issues that it would be best for her to be with the family. They don't acknowledge that. But even yesterday...
They don't want to acknowledge it.
They don't want to acknowledge it. And they keep trying to say that the environment is not conducive for healthy growth for a child.
Yep, exactly what they're saying, pretty much.
What else did they say before we close the count?
That's it.
That's it.
With everything going on with your mom's unreliable.
Yeah.
She's argumentative. Can't work with her.
Can't work with me.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they said. And then my issues. I'm like, well, my issues, it doesn't matter because I'm not at home, right? Isn't that the point of me not being home?
Yeah. What was the point of her being almost murdered out in the streets and freezing her ass off with no money?
That's the point of me not being home,
kidnapped,
right?
where, you know, she's banging on the door, let me out, and it takes a stranger to let her out of the car. That's what social services, they almost killed my daughter, but we'll talk about that another day, so peace out. We'll meet you at the courthouse. Okay, members and friends, we're at City Hall here. We're looking for parking. It's 9:30 now we're going to be late because we can't find parking. We got parking for a reserve lot over there. We got city truck just driving by with, you know, employee parking over there, millions of stalls. The city council there for the public is all full.
Go over there.
You can't see her. There's not parking in there. There's nothing down there.
Okay.
They only have 2 parking lots in here for the public, and this is all employees on this side.
Go where the cop shop is. There's stuff parking there.
This is the city employee parking. We'll just go in here very quickly, but you can see people are already sitting here waiting for somebody to run out, right? This guy's looking. This guy's sitting waiting for somebody to come out. This is the city parking. The underground parking is totally full. Here, this lady's coming out. Maybe she's going to her car. Let's see. We'll follow her. Huh? Because that's the only way you can get a parking is you have to sit here and wait for somebody to pull out. And people got court date at 9:30 in the morning, and then they're accused of being late. Right? So maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll get one in the city parking here. She went to her car, so we'll see. Okay, you can turn that off now. We'll be back. What does it say? Provincial Court of British Columbia. Officially opened in April of 1991. Wow. By the Honorable Rita M. Johnson, Premier, and the Honorable Russell G. Fraser, Attorney General.
There you go.
Okay, so we were just in the courthouse, right? I had my hat.
You're walking towards... Sorry.
I had my hat sitting on the pew so everybody could see the X, right? You know, because people know. They know what it means. It means stand up for yourself. You know, don't be a sucker, okay? And everybody looking, you know? The social worker standing there, like, you know, she's a little 26-year-old. I got it all together. I know. So got a little piece of paperwork here trying to say, you know, I'm whatever. Anyway, it's been put off till next week because nobody has a lawyer here. Yeah, I'm outside. Told you can't videotape anywhere on the inside, even though it's public property. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm doing a video.
Mom, just she's upset. Don't worry.
And that camera
What about it?
is not coming in the courthouse.
It's not in the
Yeah, but
courthouse.
it's not in the courthouse.
He's telling you.
I know that, and it wasn't turned on there. We're doing it outside because this is Canada, British Columbia, Surrey, BC. So even though it's a public facility paid by public taxes, you can't go in there with a public camera and do a public video. So how does that make any sense? But you got strangers coming up into your house, stealing little children, and then coming in here with their Mickey Mouse piece of paper with their suppositions and their insinuations that don't even explain nothing, absolutely explains nothing, while the defendants don't have access to any lawyers, right? And you got people running around with their guns, you know, hey, you know, a criminal, don't be taking a video in the courthouse, even though it's your taxes that pay for it. So, I don't know. I think we need a little bit of more of this around town, okay? Because there's something seriously wrong with our justice system, okay? There is a
Flaw.
A big flaw, because, you know, not only are poor parents expected to go take a bus, you know, come out here with no money, no resources, stand in front of a judge that doesn't even want to take the time to listen to you for 1 minute. I said, Honor, I'm in the courthouse too. Don't forget Grandma. You know, I've only been looking after Andre since he's been born. What, all of a sudden I don't count? What do you mean I don't count? Come on, people, wake up! They don't even acknowledge me. We're walking among the pillars of justice here, you know? How can a social service agency have you involved with your grandchild? All of a sudden you wake up one day and you act like they treat you, over here, they treat you like you don't even exist. How does that make sense?
It doesn't.
You know, there's nothing in here to say that they're doing anything with me. Huh? And then they wonder why I'm bitchy, right? You know, spending money I don't have, spending time I don't have, sitting up in an empty room with room full of child's toys that, you know, and they're trying to say I don't want to do a home visit. What the fuck? I've been switching 4 rooms around. I packed up my dad's wife's crap, you know?
My daughter's stuff.
Had to pack up my daughter's stuff because they kicked her out of the house and almost got her murdered, right? Had to move my dad upstairs, my 2 girls downstairs, work on fixing up freaking Andre's room, and they want to do a home visit, and I'm like, yeah, just let me finish my rooms first, you know? Like, uh-oh, this is bullshit.
Mom.
Somebody turned on my lights, trying to burn off, you know, trying to burn out my battery. Why are my lights on? I don't drive with my lights on.
No, Mom, stop, man.
Stand over there.
No, man.
I love my car.
50 seconds.
I love my
I still want to get you in there.
Hurry up before my battery burns
Okay,
out.
just... Sorry.
That's the problem with people, they don't stand up for themselves.
No, man. Some people don't want to be on camera, right? They have reasons.
Stop it, because you just encourage it.
I'm not encouraging anything, man.
Talking like that,
What are you doing? I'm trying to...
Well, I'm going to turn off my lights before my... So, we're going to go home now. See, that's the problem. That's why they don't like me. Because I actually say something. I get a little loud. I rock the boat. You know, that social worker in that courtroom didn't, you know, they didn't acknowledge me. No, judge didn't acknowledge me. You know, the prosecutor on the, you know, court side didn't acknowledge me. That's pretty devious. There's some really malicious stuff going on here. And me getting up on a camera and telling you this story is not being malicious. I'm just giving you the information in the best way that I know how. After raising 5 kids, you know, dealing with, you know, I had a delinquent stepson at one point in my life. You know, I've had to be, you know, dealing with my daughter with her drug addiction and, you know, that subculture of the culture within, you know, boyfriends and, you know, people and
Lifestyle, period.
just, yeah, you know, trying to get my daughter back on the track with, you know, being with her family and staying focused and that kind of thing. That takes a lot out of a person, you know, a lot out of a person, right? And then, you know, my girls right now are teenagers, right? So, you know, girls these days, you know, they're always got mouths, right? So they keep me on my toes. So, you know, you back in 30 years of, you know, parenting and, you know, having to fight, you know, shitty landlords and, you know, people that just want to walk all over you because they see you as a little girl because, you know, I'm starting to look old now because I'm 50, right? But when I was younger, you know, in my 30s and my 40s, I looked like a kid, so people didn't take me serious. So they could just, you know, push me over with their thumb and go away, little girl. So, you know, I had to learn how to be vocal. And my kids helped me to learn to be vocal. But people don't like that, though, right? What's this guy? People don't like that, though, right? They don't like you getting up there and, you know, standing up for yourself. They don't like it when you get up there and stand up for your community and, you know, call out the mayor. Matter of fact, mayor's office is right over there, you know? Does she care? Does she care that the majority of these poor parents that got to take a bus out here and deal with these social workers that have all the resources and all the power and can just swoop in, take children with their, like I said, little suppositions? What, she doesn't want to work with me. She's saying I'm not compliant. Child was in daycare. Children were stepping up, teenagers were stepping up to volunteer. What more does she want from me besides what she already took? Oh, you know what she wants to do? She wants to do a smear campaign now. She wants to smear all over my face, you know, rub it in, eh? Rub it in. But I'll tell you, this is done with malicious intent. and this is something, some kind of evil undertone. They don't like the fact that I can get up in public and wear my hat and say, yeah, I'm Mayor X, and I'm not afraid to say that, and they're going to use my grandchild to try and put me in place. Because for as much as they say they don't know nothing about me, they know everything about me. Because remember, when you have all the resources and you deny the ones that have the least any access to resources, or if you just give them the minimal amount of resources, you cannot tell me that they don't know jack shit. They know everything. And what they know, they manufacture 3/4 of it. Okay? So if I'm going to lose my grandson, I'm going down for a fight. Amen. And I'm going to get loud. And I'm going to tell you, the public, wake up. And not the ones that are on with Bush administration. You're either with us or you're against us. Because this is what that philosophy has brought us to today. Because they're divide and conquering the family unit, and they're going for the weakest of the weak. They don't want the teenagers. I got a 16, 17-year-old that couldn't understand why she couldn't get independent living. She wanted to be on her own because her native friend got independent living for being a bad kid. Well, I'm a good kid, she says. I go to school. I pull in A's. Why can't I get independent living? My mom's too rambunctious. You know, she got too much shit in the house, even though we live in the size of a garage that fits 2 Hummers on each side. You know, that's what we live in, right? They didn't help the teenager. They didn't want the teenager. They didn't help me when I was in my shanty shack with all those kids.
They want the babies.
They want the babies. They're going after the babies because they're easy to train. They're like those monkey moms. You know, those monkey moms that steal those little teeny weeny babies from the baby monkeys, you know, the mother monkeys. They steal them when they're 1 or 2 days old, and these women running around. And they're mostly white women running around. Well, as a matter of fact, they're the only ones that can afford these monkeys. So they're psychologically inept white women freaking going around raiding monkey fucking farms, stealing their babies, stealing their babies, and carrying them around and treating them like they're some damn baby because they can't pop them out themselves. Like, what the hell is that bullshit? So if they can't do it that way, what do? They go after the poor little minority child. There's something on here about a minority, Aboriginal. Well, you know what? My grandchild's a minority. He's got black history. What are these white mother woods going to be doing for my grandchild? Not too much. Not too much. They're just terrorizing him, brainwashing him, right? Trying to teach him things that he should probably never know. Huh? Re-erasing his memories of his family, and they want to sit up there and say, I'm the problem? I'll show them a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, members and friends. Now, I went into the courthouse. I put my hat on the pew, right, so everybody could see it. Obviously, the social workers and, you know, the court clerks and the sheriff and all these people, they're not going to like that because that's Malcolm X, and they know it. An X on a hat is Malcolm X, okay? And what does Malcolm X stand for? Stand up for your community, fight for your rights, you know, don't be afraid to say something. That's the first lesson in life, right? And then, you know, they had, you know, that social worker. You see, her beef with me is she thinks I'm disrespectful, but she forgets. She wasn't there for Sierra when Sierra was pregnant. She didn't take Sierra for any ultrasounds. She didn't try and get Sierra off the streets. She didn't try and do anything. You know, she didn't buy her food, you know, didn't take her to the doctor, didn't do shit. I took Sierra to, you know, Surrey Memorial Hospital, took Sierra to New Westminster Hospital, you know, ran her here, ran her there, took her to this doctor, that doctor, and then when she came home, I was there with her with my kids, helping her with the baby from get-go. These people, they come into my house 3-4 times, and the only thing they're looking for are their little monkey babies that they can steal. Can you put this on me and not over there? Okay? So, and I'm going to call it for what it is, because they're not helping the teens. They're not. Very limitedly are they helping the teens.
What?
Right. Okay? I don't need the distraction. Let me just finish what I have to say. Shut up. Okay, so here's the thing. I had to stand up in court. Well, I didn't stand up. I put my hand up when they were, you know, saying, you know, this social worker and this is my daughter and that's all it is. That's all they're dealing with. No, you're dealing with me. You're dealing with me to Grandma. So I said, no, Your Honor. I said, I put my hand up. Grandma's here too. Grandma's here in the court. He goes, you can't disrupt the court. And I'm saying, well, I'm not trying to, Your Honor. I just want you to know that I'm here. You know, don't forget about me. You know, I've only been in this baby's life since almost the time he's been. People wanted my daughter to abort this baby. Who do you think counseled my daughter not to do that? Who do you think counseled my daughter to stop drugs and eat better and calm down and just have faith in the good Lord that everything will work out and that she should be considering herself blessed to even be in that position to have a baby? Me. All right? I ain't looking for no monkey babies. All right? I had my own 5 kids. Right? But whoever's got my grandchild right now, that's their little monkey baby. And they had to do it through a corrupt system called the justice system in Canada that I don't know what the hell it's operating on, but we need more Malcolm X's stepping up to the plate here, okay? We do. You know? We need some more critical thinking skills because poor people can't be going back and forth on a bus with no freaking money. Single person on welfare after they lose their kids, $610. And if some of them are drug addicted, got mental issues, have no family support system, this is why the children are going away. And that's why they go after the babies, because the teenagers can kind of speak for themselves, fight for themselves, or they just end up in the justice system, which is just another bag of worms. But besides that, little babies can't speak for themselves. They're just erasing his memory because they're going for long-term. They're trying to go for long-term placement. He's been in long-term placement. He's been in with a family that who really loves him. These people don't love him. It's just a tool. It's a tool to shut me up because I got a voice and they know it. So anyway, I'm pretty upset here, right? Now if they heard that, oh, you're hollering. Your Honor, Grandma's in the courthouse too. I'm sitting in the back pew. You're sitting away over there. Damn rights I want you to hear me. Your Honor, don't forget about Grandma. Don't forget about the individual, the one individual who's been fighting for that baby from the minute I found out he was conceived.